Okay, we're at our special meeting for the Pownal Board of Directors to discuss the issue of Act 46 and warning a vote for the town of Pownal. We did have a carousel meeting last week, and we all met. It came
Not
out
all of us.
2 to 2. Unfortunately, we are again missing one tonight. But I think my personal feeling is that why I voted no, only because I'm afraid the taxpayers of Pownal or the voters do not understand enough about Act 46 to go out and vote on it. Someone else wants to add to it, it's fine. You got the floor.
I just think
Hi,
you
Jim.
have to let everybody decide. I don't think it's up to this board to decide to put it to a vote. I think the town, if 10 people show up, hey, give the 10 people their voice. If a couple hundred show up, give them a couple hundred.
It doesn't matter who shows up and who doesn't, though, but my thought is, do they understand what they're voting for?
They don't understand what they're voting for when they voted anytime.
You didn't see the slip last week. Do you have, did you? I mean, this is enough to send anybody over the deep end. This is what you're gonna go into the polls and see. It's, it's a,
I've seen it, you haven't seen it.
it's, I mean, I have never in my life seen anything like this. And I can tell the average taxpayer, the voter, is gonna go in and think, why do I have this journal in front of me? You think they're gonna take time to read this?
That's why they have meetings beforehand.
Right, they're gonna meeting the day before, right?
Yes, the night before.
Hopefully to educate the voter.
Just like
And
when
I-
you do a budget meeting, you gotta have the meeting the night before the special meeting.
Yes, and we've had, in the years that I have been attending those floor meetings, we have 1,700 registered voters, 1,700, give or take a few, and probably, if we're lucky, 30 show up at the town floor meeting. I'm just saying, I just think the whole Act 46 is so convoluted that even when we get down to the paperwork, or the article to vote on it, it's very convoluted.
So I know the Act 46 Study Committee has been holding off to see, what happened. They have flyers and information that will go out, but they've held it off until all the votes are done, because they don't want to send anything out beforehand to see that they're influencing anything for this action. So they have a flyer that was in final draft today that they will be sending out, trying to explain some of the complications in here. And
So
this
wait a
is
minute.
language that is required
Wait a minute,
by law.
you're saying they're gonna send, after the fact, they're going to send something out to explain to the people?
To it, no, after tonight.
Oh, you
If
said
you
after the
take
vote,
yes,
I thought.
Your vote.
Oh, okay.
How are they gonna do that? Do they have like the list of voters?
So I don't know what they're actually, that's gonna be up to the Act 46 Study Committee, how they're going to give this information. They want to do some public forum nights. I know they want to do that. They want to do that closer to the November 7th, because they feel that doing it too early may not, work. So that's going to be up to Don Campbell and his committee on what they want to do. I just know that they've prepared a sheet. Some of you on the committee have seen it, the frequently asked questions on Act 46, and they also have a one-page flyer. But I don't know what their plans are for how they're going to do that. I know they want to do one big forum at the Mount Anthony High School auditorium. We were looking at some dates available for that for them, and then whether they want to come to other meetings. They want to come to your October board meeting too. Here.
Okay, does anyone else want to add or subtract to any of the discussion of this issue?
I think this is a challenging article to read and understand, but if you take the time and educate yourself as a voter, which I hope all voters would do, is educate themselves prior to voting, then we can get to the right outcome. And giving them the opportunity to do that is important.
You want to say something else?
No?
No? Okay, well, you just look like you did, that's all.
No, no.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion whether we want the voters to vote on this.
Move the question to allow the townspeople to vote.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Okay, 3, 4. I'm still against it. And it just, deep in my heart, I cannot vote for something that I just don't feel right with it. But, all right, it passed.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion to, is there any other discussion? Did you want to add something?
I think this is an incredibly difficult and important decision for the
It's
towns.
the hardest decision I've had to think about in 17 years that I've been on this board.
It was the same thing in the State House and will be in the State House.
I don't believe the State House even understands what they put out to us, to be honest with you. It's just, to me, my feeling is Upper Vermont, yes, because the schools are smaller, but we got over 3,000 children here. And we're 80% of what we satisfied the state by 80% as we are now. And I guess the part that I get upset with is moving forward in all these changes that no one knows in the future what this is going to do to our school system.
I think you're
The
right.
best thing that could happen, and I could live with it, is if they come down, if two of the towns vote no, and they come down and separate elementary and the super board. That, I think I could live with that, but to have one board and have pre-K through 12, I just can't wrap my arms around it and feel safe for these children. And all the years that we have tried to educate our children and give Pownal children the best they can. When you become one board, I don't understand why one group of people are going to be able to look at these elementary kids and give them what they want. Because we're not going to save money, and nobody's going to ever convince me that. There is no money to be saved. And the state can say, well, they aren't giving us anything. Because at the end of 4 years, taxpayers, beware. Okay, I've said my speech. Anyone else have anything to say?
You hit it right when you said the people in Montpelier don't understand what's going on.
Of course they don't.
Well, they never do. And nothing against you, Bill, but they never do. They come down afterwards and say, well, it's like when CDC, when they had the vote to make CDC its own, its own district. And then a couple of the legislators come into a CDC meeting and chewed us out for making it that way, and it wasn't our vote.
I know.
We were forced to have a vote. And it was from Montpelier that forced it, forced us to have it. And yet we were blamed for it.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that your vote, which I think you just took 3-1, basically to warn it, does not constitute a recommendation to the voters
No,
on how to vote one way or the other?
This is one.
not a
reason-
recommendation.
This is one
I
reason
think
why I
that-
was afraid of
I'm asking the
that.
question because I think it's really important.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Because most people will say like, oh, the board voted this way or that.
Maybe
And
I
I
should.
think they
Exactly.
do, I think they do look to
Yes,
you
they
as the
put us
most
here.
experienced
They put us here.
educational leaders.
That's why we have to educate them. And we have to not just show them the frosting on the cake. And people can call me negative, but I am positively sure I think we need to show facts. Facts. True and false. And that's what I
And
think
that's-
needs to happen.
Well, there's clearly multiple sides on this
Right.
debate, maybe even on your own board. So I don't know if all this is a vote to warn, to allow the election
allow
to
the
take
elec-
place
to
on
allow the
November
people to
7th. And then all individual board members are free to
Do what you want.
campaign on either way, As is always your right.
I know, I may stand outside.
But I just don't think it's right not to allow the people to vote. I don't think that's right. I think everyone should have a say.
So Renee's gonna need one copy with signatures so she can get that to the town clerk before you leave.
Oh, this is killing me.
But all you're certifying is that the vote took, that you're agreeing to want it, and then however you feel about the merits of the bill, as I'm sure you will, you're free to speak your piece.
I'm sure I will. If I don't, who's going to?
I don't think you're alone, just like I think there are people who think it's a good bill. I don't think you're the only one who disagrees with it. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. And it'll be up to the Act 46 study committee. I mean, you know, you're on that committee. There's disagreement on that committee. So,
No.
Yeah, probably just me.
Motion we adjourn.
Okay, motion been made, second. All those in favor, signify by raising
Aye.
your hand.